We should not live in a country where such constant fear of political violence permeates our society every single day. We can and we should have fierce disagreement in this country. As you all know, we disagree often, myself in this role and all of you in the news media, but those disagreements must remain peaceful. Debating, peaceful protesting, and voting are how we need to settle disagreements, not bullets. Nobody in recent years has faced more bullets and more violence than President Trump. This political violence stems from a systemic demonization of him and his supporters by commentators, yes, by elected members of the Democrat Party, and even some in the media. This hateful and constant and violent rhetoric directed at President Trump day after day after day for 11 years has helped to legitimize this violence and bring us to this dark moment.
Hello everybody, today's another day, and today we're going to address the rhetoric. Today we're going to review countless attempts with people who lean left trying to get someone to do something they're just not willing to do. They want to talk about it until someone does it. And I don't even have to tell you what that certain thing is. You already know. And the left wants to gaslight you, telling you it's not them, it's the right. But we all know at this point who's throwing the gas on the flames.
Example, as the First Lady of the United States pointed out this morning, just 2 days prior to the shooting, ABC's late night host Jimmy Kimmel disgustingly called First Lady Melania Trump an expectant widow.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
People listen, and when you have mentally disturbed individuals across the country who are listening to this crazed rhetoric about the president day after day after day, it inspires them to do crazy things. And unfortunately, it's not just the media, it is the entire Democrat Party has made their pitch to voters across the country that Donald Trump poses an existential threat to democracy, that he is a fascist, and that they compare him to Hitler. I mean, these are despicable statements that the American people have been consuming for years, and so many mentally perturbed individuals are led to believe these words are truth and then are inspired to act on it. I have a whole host of examples that we can share with you after. It is pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries just this month said, "We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time."
We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time.
Governor Josh Shapiro said heads need to roll within the administration.
Heads do need to roll, certainly within the administration.
Senator Alex Padilla said people are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration.
People dying because of fear and terror caused by this administration.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state.
Every day, Donald Trump is making this nation look more and more like a fascist state.
Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook.
As part of his would-be dictator playbook.
Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids.
Senator, thanks for joining us. Let me get right to it, Senator. You were in Boston the other day. This is the quote. The revolution against Donald Trump and Elon Musk starts here. Revolution, Senator, that's a pretty strong word. Is this a slow march or a fast march to impeachment? What did you mean by that, the revolution?
Well, we fought the American Revolution, led initially by the Minutemen and women of Concord and Lexington, in order to say to King George, no. You do not have absolute authority. No, you cannot act as a dictator. That's what Donald Trump is trying to do. Okay. He's trying to usurp the power of the Congress and the judiciary in order to act as a king. King Donald, not King George, which is why we need a revolution in order to once again reassert the principles that we have a separation of power, that we have checks and balances, that no one can act unilaterally.
Well, I know you don't mean take arms up against the sitting president. What do you mean? The only way to replace him is impeachment, revolution, replacement. Is that what you're talking here? Oh, by the way, tomorrow's one month he's in, Senator.
I'm talking about people rising up.
Governor J.B. Pritzker, never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption. But I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace.
You have Rep. Presley saying, we'll see you in the streets.
With unprecedented organizing, mobilizing, agitating, we will see you in the courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi Nepo baby.
Monica McIver, a Democrat representative on Capitol Hill, we will not take this shit from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We are at war.
Look, I came here with one simple message, just like you all. We will not take this shit from Donald Trump. We need to organize and mobilize and goddamn it, shut down the city. We are at war.
These are Democrat elected officials calling for war against the President of the United States and his supporters.
There it is. I painstakingly found the videos and edited them in so you could see. Even the liberal news media is starting to ask questions if we should tone it down or not. But like they do, liberals will try to gaslight.
Yeah, and you have, and as many of your fellow Democrats, have used some heated rhetoric against the president. And do you think twice about that when something like this happens?
What rhetoric do you have in mind?
What rhetoric do you have in mind? Let me jar your memory.
You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd.
And that doesn't even include all the family members they go after all the time. Let's see what that leads to.
According to a LinkedIn page connected to the suspect, Allen is a trained mechanical engineer who now works as a tutor. His current employer, C2 Education, named Allen Teacher of the Month just last year. Allen is in custody and is believed to have been acted alone in this. Now, we've also learned 2 firearms and multiple knives were recovered. And as we come back out here live again, fairly quiet on the street, but still a lot of activity going on inside of that home here behind us. And we do know that Allen is expected to be arraigned in court on Monday.
This guy was in charge of educating your children. He was even Teacher of the Month. And the thing that gets me the most is there's people out there celebrating it. Or they say it's a hoax because they don't want to face that it's left violence happening over and over. That's what shocked me the most about the Charlie Kirk incident. The way people celebrate this is so treacherous, I don't even want to think there's people out there in the world who will do this and support it. But there is. There's people out there unapologetically supporting it.
I wake up each morning hoping he has died. I go to bed each night hoping by the time I get up in the morning, he has died. I'm fully convinced that we can't even begin to start fixing any of our problems until he has died. For the love of all things good, just die.
That's another teacher, people, and I've never seen a better advertisement for homeschooling in my life. Instead of teaching your kids math and English, they're shoving ideology down their throat. And here's Cole's manifesto. On to why I did any of this. I am a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflects on me. I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. Well, To be completely honest, I was no longer willing a long time ago, but this is the first real opportunity I've had to do something about it. While I'm discussing this, I'll also go over my expected rules of engagement, probably in terrible format, but I'm not military, so too bad. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel, they are targets, prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary, and to be incapacitated, non-lethal if possible. AKA, I hope they're wearing body armor because center mass with shotguns messes up people who aren't. Hotel security, not targets if at all possible, aka unless they shoot at me. Capitol Police, same as hotel security. National Guard, same as hotel security. Hotel employees, not targets at all. Guests, not targets at all. In order to minimize casualties, I will also be using buckshot rather than slugs, less penetration through walls. I will still go through most everyone here to get to the targets, if it were absolutely necessary, on the basis that most people choose to attend a speech by a pedophile, rapist, and traitor, and are thus complicit, but I really hope it doesn't come to that. So long story short, this man has internalized all the talking points and the lies the fake media has put out. He's been convinced that he's morally justified to take these people out, and it's horrible. These people have been brainwashed beyond recognition at this point. He traumatized numbers of people, and he threw his life away, all for nothing.